Morning thus to read. If tea goes white, no. Tell her that is human nature. White. Don't you do me this way? But she says white. Tell her. Tell her that is human nature. Why do you do me this way? I like living this way. Why? Michael, man. Michael was the best man crier there ever lived. Michael, your destiny is to be a man crier. What is a man crier? That right there. That's the man crier. You cry all the time when you're saying you just do it. No, I don't. Tito, do I? Yes, Michael, you do. You're a man crier. It's okay. We love you, though. We just hope you die soon. No. We really don't. No. Yes, we do. Oh, my goodness. Did I just say that? I'm sorry, Michael, but I think your family's kind of a little jealous of you. Anyway, the NBA is fixed. I think they're a little jealous of you, Mike. I'm just going to say that. Just a little jealous. Just a little jealous of you, Mike. Oh, there's a lot of people jealous of you. But we're not here to talk about Michael. We're here to talk about DeRozan. DeRozan goes to the hoop and misses. So, the NBA is full of fracas. It's not a word. Full of clowns. But all the world loves a clown. All the world loves a clown. Be a clown. It's a show. It's a show. But, you gotta love this show. You do. It's a little vaudeville. It's got some vaudeville in it with jazz hands. I'll tell you who has a jazz hands. The people who are in the first 3 rows from the floor, count 3 rows back, all those people are vaudeville jazz hands. Because every time somebody scores, it's pandemonium. They're pointing at the guy who shot it. And then their arms are straight in the air. I believe their teeth. There's like an NBA cheerleading school for the fans. Like, do you want to be an NBA cheerleader for the fans? Come on in here, Bob. I know you're 45 years old, but hey, you could be a cheerleader too. I think that's what they're doing. They're just cheerleading. Bob, when did you start your career as an NBA cheerleader? Well, I was 35. I was sitting at home watching. I said, honey, can I be a cheerleader? She said, sure, baby. You can do anything you want. I said, thank you. And that's when I signed up to be an NBA cheerleader. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Get out of here. It's fake. You're fakery. They teach you when you put your arms up, you put them all the way up, elbow straight, and then you holler. It's like, yeah, it's like real cheerleaders. Yeah, I can't do it because, I'm old. But it's like, yeah. Yeah. Ouch. Oh, my God. The enthusiasm of a layup that goes in is just, oh, sweet goodness. You would think that somebody just cured cancer. It's just total pandemonium. It's like, wait a minute, this is game 1. Okay, this is the playoffs. It's game 1. It's the first minute. It's the first shot. It's just a little too, I don't know. Anyway, so Game 2, I'll bring up the score here in a minute. I don't know if anybody's on yet because I haven't looked because I've been doing something else. But I decided to go live because there's a lot of interesting stuff that's just been, you guys been asking me questions. One person, Delante, asked me, do I have a job? That's none of your fram frizness. None of your wham whizness. That's none of your business if I have a job or not. My job is to entertain you people while you entertain yourself watching sports. That's my job. Do you have a job, sir? That is my job. This is my job. Look at me do my job. This is my job. My job is to entertain those who need entertained. I work on YouTube. How much money do I make? None of your fram frizness. I don't ask you how much do you make, now do I? Nebby knows person. Because I could care less how much you make. Really? I mean, why asking me questions like that? You know? How much do you make on YouTube? I actually used to post that, but then found out that YouTube doesn't like that. So I don't post it anymore, how much money I make on YouTube. But let me say this. I make pretty much $0 when I go live. But I go live because I like the feedback. I like to go live. I like to chat it up. I'm chatting. It's my chatting face. This is how I look when I'm chatting. Neck straight, teeth like I'm chatting. Yeah. So I like to chat about it. You know, I'm eccentric. So I do eccentric things. What up, Edwards? It's Jay Edwards. Somebody else is on too. You're going to say hello or you're just going to stare at my haircut. I know you like it. So yeah. Bam, boom, bam, bop, bibbidi bop, boom, bang, bing. Yeah. Anyways, all right, since there is some people actually listening, I'm going to pull up. Yeah, man, you know, I went into the bathroom and I was like, yo, I got to have out of place, son. So, you know, I've been practicing cutting my hair for the last 25 years. But recently I really got into it because I want to learn how to fade. So the best person to practice on is myself, you know, and I just want to learn how to do it, how to fade it up. So I've been trying to fade. I'm getting okay at it. My neighbors are all impressed. Like, oh, you do your hair. I'm like, yeah, I know. But I'm not cutting your hair. So don't ask me. Going down there to the Mexicans. The Mexicans cut his hair. They cut my hair once too. Wasn't bad. They did a good job. But I was like, I could do this on my own. So I've been cutting my hair for a while. Anyways. Boop bap, the boop bap, the boop bap. Man, I gotta fill out this form before I really get into what I want to talk about with you guys. But I don't know how to chat. Yeah. Desiree. Did I say that right, Desiree? Are you a woman? I mean, I don't know no guy named Desiree, but whenever a woman comes on, I always ask, is it a woman? Okay. The reason why I do that is because we have some guys on here and they are guys. Okay. They will talk about TNA and all that in a heartbeat. And I usually allow it until a woman comes on because I don't want to offend the young lady. So guys, we do have a young lady on and please watch your words because please watch your words because I may not get rid of you off the channel, but I will block a lot of what you say if I think it will offend the young ladies, even though they talk just as dirty as we do. I'm still not trying to have it here. So, what up, Ray Skater? It's Ray Skater. He comes down the court, he shoots from the three, he scores. Ray Skater's on fire. What up, my man? Yeah. You're not easily offended. Well, it's listen, honey, there's not a lot of women who come on the channel. There really isn't. But I have yeah. Good to see you too, man. Oh, good to hear from you. I have like two young ladies that are constantly here talking about the NBA, and one of them is an 11-year-old girl. So whenever she's on, like, I really have guys tone it down, and I converse with her a lot because she's going through some stuff. So, and another one is a young lady who lives in Trinidad, and you know how dangerous Trinidad is. So, we're just very respectful around here, but we're guys. We talk crazy just like everybody else does, but I never know when them young ladies are gonna show up. So, there's that. But always happy to hear from a young lady. If you have any links that you want to post, Miss Desiree, you can. You just, especially the young ones. I got rid of somebody because he kept cursing when a young lady was on, and a little 11-year-old. I don't care who you are. I don't care if this dude was a subscriber for like a year plus. I got rid of his ass. I don't play that. You're not going to be dropping an F-bomb every 5 seconds, and she actually asked you not to do that. You got to go, bro. I don't even want him on the channel. Nonetheless, Miss Desiree, if you got any links, if you got something special going on, we must be formal. We do, Jay. We got to have a little. Come on, it's an 11-year-old girl, man. I'm not having my queens listen to that. Yeah. Big LBJ. Okay, that's why you here. You want to talk about LBJ. I get you. Yeah, they're LBJ fans too. I have been watching your videos for a minute, but kind of skeptical because of the Patriots thing last year. Oh, okay. So all right. So you, okay. Oh, wait. That's right. Welcome the young lady. Okay, Miss Desiree. Let's start there. All right, we can start there. Okay, since that's what we doing, since you gonna come in here and just gonna blow up the spot, like we don't all know that the Patriots lost, and I said that they was gonna win, so you just gonna put me on Front Street like that. All right, okay, let's do this. So at the beginning of the year, when I said that, next other question, why they don't want this? Okay, we gonna roll. Okay, we rolling right with it. All right, for one, at the beginning of the year, when people ask me to do a prediction, I choose someone at the beginning of the year. I don't like to flip-flop at the middle of the year. I don't like to, what up? What up, Steven? Well, the Raptors get swept to LeBron. You know what? I'm about to handle all that. I'm going to have to write these questions down, but I'm going to talk to the young lady first because of her skepticism. For one, this is not a major thing for me as far as if I'm wrong or right. My major quality is to just not to get people all into these games and to get all uptight about it. I'm just like, God loves you way more than any of these basketball or football players. Do not do that. When you look at this, it's staged. So when you're getting upset about it, you're just hurting yourself because nobody else cares. That was really my whole angle to this. I got into it because of one of my neighbors asked me why I don't watch sports, and it was during the NBA Finals in 2016. I said, because it's fixed. He said, no, it's not. I predicted LeBron James would win. He won. Next year, I said he would lose. He lost. And then I started doing the NFL, and people just got on my channel, and it just kind of rolled, with it. When I started doing the NFL, I start picking a team at the very beginning because I noticed a lot of people, including a lot of these internet guys, they would get on and then they would say this person and then say, oh, maybe this person, and then they would use gematria. And I said, I just don't want to be like that. This means if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. I'm not really winning anything. If I'm right, I'm right. I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I just wanted to clear that up with you. Do not I tell people, don't use my information and bet on it. That's a mistake. if you come to my channel, you got to have an open mind because, for one, I just started doing this in 2016. This channel is not made up of that, okay? That isn't what this channel is for. If you go back and look at my stuff way before 2016, I'm talking about the Bible, alien, ghost, all kind of other stuff. So I just, don't put a lot into what I think, but if it comes out that way, just kind of look at the method, look at how things went, and look at the pattern that I always talk about. Now, moving on from there, the next question, why they don't want the Sixers to win. It's just not their time yet. Truthfully, here's two thoughts on the Sixers. One of my thoughts, and I'm gonna get to you, Cotton. One of my thoughts on the Sixers is what Stephen A. and then was just talking about LeBron going to the Sixers, and LeBron said it would be a bad fit because of Simmons, and Simmons is not he's a great ball handler, but he's not a shooter. And Hellerman said, I think it would be a great fit. I am on Hellerman's side. I think if LeBron went there, he would be able to three-peat instantly. I think if LeBron went to New York, he would have to build a team to three-peat. My whole modus operandi when it comes to LeBron James is he has to three-peat soon. Okay? He's in his 15th year. Although he's playing like a Greek god, he's in his 15th year. This is not his 5th year. Okay? So he's going to need some young people. Thanks for playing. No problem. He's going to need some young people to help him out. And I think the Sixers, they're in the East. They're dominant in the East. They just went to the playoffs. They're not going to win this playoff round, but they went deep. They went into the second round. Why not look at them and say, you know what? Instead of struggling with Cleveland, why don't I just go ahead and go to the Sixers? But here's the problem. If LeBron James wins this year, which is it's very cloudy if he's going to win. But if he does win this year, like I said, I picked him at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to stay with that. If he does win this year, he's not going to leave this year. If he loses this year, he's going to leave this year. LeBron said openly, I think about a week ago, he's not going to leave. This tells me that he's going to win this year. I'll go to the next question. Tom Brady. Okay, you directed that at her. All right. They will never win the same year. Oh, Tom Brady and LeBron James you're talking about? Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Thanks for – okay. You see who got the Knicks job? Yeah, I just heard about that. Who got the Knicks job, but I don't know a lot about that individual. Just to help you guys out again, for some of you guys are new, and for you guys, let me clear this up. I do not watch the games. I don't watch basketball and I don't watch football. I watch the highlights. So I'll scan through the highlights. I'll listen to Stephen A. Smith every now and then, Max Hellerman. But I really like listening to Shannon Sharp because he's a straight shooter. I think Skip Bayless is not a straight shooter. I think Chris Broussard is another straight shooter. I think Colin Cowherd is another straight shooter, even though I don't like I think the woman on his channel is not really necessary, so she kind of throws things off. But I think Steven Jackson is another straight shooter, but nonetheless, they're all in the same system. So I will listen to some of those guys and get their opinion. But for the most part, I don't watch the games. I haven't watched a full game of football in probably 10 to 12 years, and I haven't watched a full game of basketball since Shaquille O'Neal played for the Magic. And that's just that. Okay. Only way Rockets will win is if Steph Curry and Durant go down. You guys want to go there, Cotton? Is that like a non-question? Why you rip one of those guys? Okay, when you rip one of those guys from the team, they become much more beatable. Well, yeah, of course. See, these teams aren't built like the 90s. In the 90s, you had so many teams that could go to the championship. You just did. You had so many players who had built a team. Everybody had a strong five. You just did. I mean, Marbury, the mailman, Jordan, Pippen, Kerr, you just had Malone, you had so many people that could just, Hawkins, you had so many people that were just there, Jason Kidd, that could just do anything. They could shoot the lights out. They had mad assists, Johnson. They were what they were, but they were dominant. They were dominant teams, but there were so many dominant teams, you really didn't know which way it was going to go until Michael went on that winning streak. And then when that happened, I was really looking at it like, this is all fixed. You know what I'm saying? This is all fixed. All of it, 100%. The only championships I didn't think was so much fixed was when Kobe Bryant started winning. Him and Shaquille O'Neal. And I'm going to tell you why, because Kobe got himself in trouble. And they were still dominant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was a lot of trouble. When that case hit, when that case hit, Kobe Bryant actually accelerated. That's when he got his, title Black Mamba. And it was just like, that's odd. Because if you look today and you look at, let's take Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is the opposite of what Kobe Bryant went through. Russell Westbrook, he didn't do anything crazy like that, but nonetheless, Russell Westbrook's personality is not very marketable. Okay, it just isn't. He just doesn't have a marketable personality. And I've gone through this over and over. It's all about the ads. When I look at Russ, he's still a good player. He's a great player, if you ask me, but he's not marketable. Okay, so him losing in the playoffs early surprised everyone. It surprised me because I was like, there doesn't matter if they're a better team. He's more famous. But the thing about it is he more ad famous? And that's where I messed up. That's where I messed up my own mojo. How many of you have seen a Russell Westbrook commercial recently? That's what matters. I mean, just think. How many of you have seen a Russell Westbrook commercial? Something that he's on. Something that his face is on. How many of you seen it? I don't watch TV. Exactly. Even before the loss. How many of you seen a commercial? I'm not talking about a basketball commercial. I'm talking about him selling something for somebody else. Target or underwear or hot dogs or something like that. How many of you seen him on an ad that's not exactly? Exactly. You know why? Because he's not marketable when it comes to most ads. Why? Because they have to be kid friendly. Why? Because kid friendly means woman friendly. It's the mother who controls, because there are more women walking this earth than there are men. And statistically, the women go out and do the shopping still, regardless of what these feminists say. The women control the household. That's just it, and that's all. So when you cater towards the women, you cater towards the children, you cater towards the dad, you cater towards the household. And that's how it goes. So when Russell Westbrook decided to curse, he was cursing when he did one of the interviews earlier this year when I think it was Zaza, when he went and tried to harm his legs and he fell on him on purpose. He was like, y'all know what happened. And I think he cursed on that interview. You cannot do that and still keep the ad revenues going in your favor. And when you do that, you cut out a whole slew of individuals who watch you, and most of them are children and mothers. That's why. And I didn't even think about that until he lost. But that wasn't a big deal to me. Those guys losing wasn't a big deal. I was just like, it doesn't matter which one of them wins or loses, because to me, they're not going to the finals. They're not. In the Western Conference, it's just not going to happen. What's up? What up, Red? Yeah, big dog. All right, Ben Simmons, one of the best players. Ben Simmons can't shoot. The Sixers score only 1 point again because Ben Simmons can't shoot. I find that to be very weird. It's not weird. Ben Simmons is not a shooter. So it's accurate to say he's not part of the script. That is inaccurate to say. And I'm going to tell you why. Can't curse and can't talk about refs. You can't. You can't. Okay, so to say that anyone in major sports is not part of the script is wrong, because if you're in the sport, you're part of the script. I said this last year during football. Everyone who is playing may not know about the script, but they are part of the script. As soon as you sign on a dotted line, you are contracted. You're contracted to do what they tell you to do. You are not a free person. You can't go and do what you want. You are contracted to do what they tell you to do. They tell you what to eat. They tell you when to get up. They tell you when to practice. They tell you the games that you're going to win and you're not going to win. But they don't do it as a collective, as for the team. They do it for the people who make the plays, who make things happen. This is what happened to Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl when Hightower hit him and the offensive back ran right past Hightower, and Ryan didn't even look to his right to see if Hightower was there, and they had a passing play on second and third or something like that. It was like, why did you just not hand the ball off to the running back and run the doggone clock down, which is what you should have did? Why did Russell Wilson throw the ball? This is like, why did the chicken cross the road? Why did Russell Wilson throw the ball and stand ahead of it to beast mode? Why? Because the NBA is fixed. I think that's how Russell Westbrook is. He granted. Okay, so as far as Russell Westbrook, they still show those Paul George. Yeah. But what is Paul George that Russell Westbrook isn't? He's marketable. Look at Paul George and look at all of his interviews. Just go through them. Look and see how many confrontational incidents Paul George has been into. Just look. I'll tell you who's a prime example of marketable. Probably the most marketable person ever, other than, of course, Michael Jordan. Shaquille O'Neal. The way Shaquille O'Neal handled the fight was, for one, when somebody challenged Shaquille, they challenged him. All right? He usually answered it with slamming in their face or something like that. But whenever they challenged him, you notice Shaquille didn't say anything. Somebody came up to him, he would just kind of look at them. Why? Because Shaquille O'Neal's mind was on what happens after the NBA is over. This is why instead of getting paid $30 million in the NBA, he's getting paid $300 million for advertisements. Was that a double entendre? For advertisements. That's his whole game. He's a marketing genius, but he was always thinking about what am I going to do after the NBA is over, and he always had a plan. So the majority of the time, he kept his mouth shut. Russell Westbrook, however, doesn't have that mind state as far as the ads are concerned. He might be a businessman in other aspects, but he doesn't seem to really care about okay, an extreme person on that end of somebody who I didn't think really cared, you're looking at Meta World Peace. How many commercials have you seen him in ever? Meta World Peace was known to start problems. And after that, Meta World Peace, when he left the NBA, he was trying to get back into the NBA. Usually when guys are doing that, it's because of the money. All right. So I don't think he had much of a game plan outside of the NBA. You know, I don't think he's making millions and millions of dollars, being a sports analyst every now and then. So you got to look at that. Yeah. Ron Artest, he's an extreme example of what not to be when you're in the NBA. You're not ad marketable. I'm going to read some of this. They showed us Paul. PG is going to LA. He's not going to stay. He's not going to stay where he's at. He's mad marketable. He is. Kawhi Leonard to Cleveland next year as LeBron wins this year. Okay, let's do this, Stephen. Let's do this. Let's just speak in hyperbole. If LeBron wins, we know that he's going to draw more talent to him. Why? Because he did it before. He did it in 2016. When he won, he was looking for other people to come in. When Kyrie Irving left, he was like, okay, we have how many millions? What was his contract? What was Kyrie's? It was 20-something million. He was like, okay, there's huge cap space. Now we can start fishing for people to get in here and, do whatever with. They go to the championship. they get swept pretty much. It's embarrassing. This year, what happened? They get Crowder and they get a bunch of other players, Isaiah, and it just didn't work. They got rid of those guys in less than what? Maybe a week, 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most. You got D Rose, and D Rose played 22 games. I don't even think he played that many, and he was gone. Okay, he was gone. D Rose did what D Rose does. Okay, and you only paid him $2 million. So that was more cap space that was freed up. So when you're looking at the people that he has now, Smith, Love, Hood, and those guys right now, you got to think about this. Is he into his luxury tax? Is that where he's at right now? Because not only is he into his luxury tax, but do they have any more cap space to afford somebody like Paul George? That's the way you got to think. Who's he going to get rid of to get Paul George? Is he going to get rid of Hood? Is he going to get rid of Love? He's not going to get rid of Love. He's not going to get rid of Smith. He's not going to get rid of Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson's going to get rid of himself. So you have some big contracts that are already there. So it's like, who do I got to get rid of? Because there's not another Kyrie Irving here. Who do I got to get rid of and able to afford another apex player? That's the route you got to think of. So if he wins and you start, you can actually do it right now. You can just think, who could leave so I can afford $20 million a year to this apex player? Who would you get rid of? That's a question under you. And when you start figuring that out and I can get rid of this person, this person, this person, and or I can get rid of 5, non-essentials, and they can make up that money. Then you got to look at the player that you're getting, and can that person equate to the 5 people? That's really how you got to do it. So the cleanup was quick. The cleanup was super quick, and it was so swift. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Isaiah Thomas didn't have to leave. Isaiah Thomas did that to himself because he was problems in the locker room, and he wanted the ball more. I didn't really have a problem with that. LeBron didn't have a problem with that. But nonetheless, you're bucking up against the system that LeBron created, and LeBron wasn't having that. So he just get him out of here. The way I see it is the Cavs have failed to get big players pretty much every summer. Okay. All right, let's look at that, JR or Tristan. See, all right, let me go back to that. The way you see it, okay, so $33 million. $33 million this year. This is what LeBron's making in a contract. 2 years ago, it was $23 million a year. This is a year contract each year. Okay? This is yearly contracts each year. All right, so you got to take that into consideration. Not to mention, when LeBron came back, he went on Instagram and he was talking about the contracts that he was helping to get done. He did it in an inadvertent way, but he went on there and he was like, let's get Tristan Thompson done. And I was just like, are you the GM? You're like, are you the player, coach, manager, LeBron? I think you are. I think LeBron wouldn't have came back unless he would have got specific players to come back with him because of what he was complaining about. So when you say that they failed to get players, big name players, it's just like LeBron stated, I'm always going to be a max pay player. This is the problem. See, let's go to Golden State and look at the last 2 years of what Golden State did. Let's just do that. We know they got Clay, Zaza, they got, Curry, Durant, and Iguodala, and a couple more dynamite players. But Clay was like, look, I'm staying. No matter what, I'm a franchise player. I don't want to go anywhere. Do you think Clay is going to get his max pay every time? Do you think he cares about getting his max pay every time? If he's saying, I'm staying, there's a good chance he's doing the same thing that Tom Brady did, which is a mistake now that Tom is seeing. But Tom Brady was like, I'll take $15 million. He's like, I'll take $15 million just so you can build a team around me. Clay is doing the same thing because Clay's getting rings and he's getting his money and he's satisfied where he's at. Now, when you look and see what happened to Curry a couple years ago, he was only getting $100 million. Now he's getting $201 million. So you see how that's working. 2 years ago, this is what Curry was doing. He was getting $100 million. But when he got that $100 million, then you got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant came in and was getting $54.3 million for the next 2 years. So when you start calculating that, you're going, wait a minute, on a 5-year contract, if you 5 times 5, that's 25. On a 5-year contract, you're doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're doing like almost $230 million. Like, wait. I'm Steph Curry. I've been the face of the franchise for the last, I don't know how long. You're going to have to pay me because I'm the face that people think of when it comes to, and then that's when they that's when they went and gave Steph Curry his $201 million contract. And then James Harden came out with his $225 million contract. What do you think is going to happen to LeBron next year? That contract he got now in 5 years is like a $150 million contract. And he's doing it year by year. You got to understand those other guys are doing it like a franchise player. That's not what LeBron is doing. Wherever LeBron goes, his contract is going to go up every 10 years. When those guys get in contract, it stays the same for the next 5 years. So I mean, let's start doing the math here. If you're doing $23 million 2 years ago, now you're at $33 million. It's just he's gonna max out. He's doing $66 million all around this year. That's what it supposedly his net worth is. I mean, come on, you guys. That his money is just he's gonna be close to $300-400 million before he gets out. Easy. But those guys are still gonna be at $200 million. I mean, this is the reason why you see him not getting the players that you think he should have is because of the way his contract is. Okay. No one would take Tristan's contract. No one's gonna take Tristan's contract because that isn't the way it was developed. Tristan's contract was made like Clay's contract. Tristan's contract is made so LeBron can keep maxing out and Tristan can keep going with him. Could have gotten PG, Paul George, but Pacers owner changed his mind. Yeah, there was a whole thing going on there. No one will. They will take contract if LeBron, tell them to, if LeBron goes with them. LeBron's going to get the first $50 million for a season. Absolutely. Now you're on point. And this is why LeBron is not going to get the players that he wants. This is why LeBron is – listen, I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm going to tell you something straight up. LeBron James actually, to me, hurts himself when it comes to chances in getting past Jordan. To me, he hurts himself because he demands so much money. I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking at it like Tom Brady. What's more important to me? Now, Tom Brady's wife does like $60 million. She's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So Tom Brady's like, and $15 million, I'm okay. But now Bill Belichick is trying to get rid of him for Garoppolo. Is like, wait, what? You trying to get rid of me for Garoppolo? And the GM is the one that told Bill no. Bill got upset about that. He was like, I love you, but you got to go. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out that Garoppolo is getting paid $44 million cash in 1 year. Oh, Tom ain't having that. Watch and see what his contract does. Knicks hired David Fizdale. Probably use him to recruit LeBron. Okay. I don't know much about Fizdale. I would probably have to get more into that, Red. if the contracts, oh, wait a minute, what just happened? If the contracts like that where will he, I'm sorry, if the contracts like that, where will he fit going to salary-wise? Oh, where will he fit going to? Where will who fit? Okay, LeBron. Where will LeBron fit salary-wise? No, what I'm trying to tell you is the reason why he's in Cleveland is because he makes max dollars in Cleveland. I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. LeBron has the keys to the city, literally. You got to understand, he's not in one of the poorest cities in the country and one of the most dangerous on purpose. I mean, he's a homeboy, but you got to understand the money he generates. You got to understand that. Yeah. But you got to understand the money that he generates by being there. The city comes up like $500 million because he's there, because of ticket sales and paraphernalia and all the other stuff that he sells. It's real. I don't live far from there, so I've been there a couple times. And I'm going to say it again. Yes, I've seen LeBron a couple times. And the difference that's when he's there and then the difference when he was in South Beach is just humongous. It's just like, wow, all that revenue got sucked out of the city. He's like, if I'm going to come back, I want part of the revenue that I create. I'm the one creating it. This is why LeBron is there. So do I think that LeBron cares about the rings? Absolutely. I think he cares about the rings. But he cares about the money more. The man is trying to create a dynasty, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I think he has to win with less to keep the GOAT, right? And you look at that, Stephen, that's a really good point. I mean, I said this before on my live. I said this before. A lot of people are talking about LeBron being the GOAT, even the announcers and that, and the analysts are talking about that. Listen, to me, he's all ready to go because he's playing with 8 other players that are not superstars. They're just not. Those guys are not superstars. They're just not. There's only a few superstars in the league now. And none of the other players, except Kyrie, to me, was a superstar. Kevin Love is a star. But a superstar? Nah. Kevin Love and Oladipo are kind of in the same rank to me. It's just that Oladipo's more famous because there's nobody else on his team that is playing like him. Oh, Fitzgerald. Well, okay, he was there. Well, that makes a difference. Yeah. That makes a difference. Got somebody that he knows. Yes, when he got. Yep. Gas. Oh my goodness. Ray Skater. Oh my goodness. Whew. Oh, I see you, Desiree. Oh, you gonna go there with the Vegas? That's how you do, Desiree. You on the Vegas channel? Oh, Desiree D. See, I thought Desiree was just on here just to clown around, but she's serious, all right? Desiree, she back in the house on it. Okay, all right, I see you. That's why you on this channel. Oh, okay. That's where your skepticism comes in. Oh, I see where you at now. All right, honey. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I've been right for 2 years, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm gonna say. Put my Shannon Sharp on you. I'll put my Shannon Sharp on you. You lose because of me. Don't call me. All right. I tell people all the time, listen, if you win, I don't want your money. If you lose, I don't want your complaints. But I see where you at, do your thug nizzle. You over there thugging it out. Yeah, get busy. All right. Now, listen, I don't never listen to Vegas or go on their channel and try to, I never really get into that because, all right, let me put it to you like this. Flip-floppers all the time. But let's just say that over the next 5 years, every single one of them I guess correctly. And I use Vegas as some type of leverage. I use what Vegas is saying as some type of leverage. let's just say my channel grows to 10,000 people. That's really not a lot in YouTube. There's guys who got sports channels, they're 200,000. But nobody who's doing predictions, but somebody's going to have an open the door for Cleveland to win. I'm going to read that in a second. But no one, yeah, okay. One person was like, if Cleveland wins, I'll give you a G. So my channel is growing because of this, okay? I mean, it really is. But I don't get into like betting and Vegas and stuff like that because I don't want a particular type of person to come to my channel and to start haranguing me, talking crazy to me over what I said. It's all fun. I'm sorry, my nose is. It's all fun to me. And if the fun ain't there to me, if I can't have fun on my own channel, then I'm going to stop doing it. Because I don't want to hear nothing about, if you say this guy's going to win and we're going to have issues. I'm not doing none of that. So, okay. Tone, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to open the door for Cleveland to win the finals? An injury or something? Yes. Stephen. Yes, that's exactly it. Okay, so this is the way I was looking at it. Steph Curry's back. They're at full force over there at GSW. Not even worried about it. Not one bit. Because we seen Steph's rest for 2 months because of a slight knee injury. That right there is a precursor to what they're going to use in the finals. Now, I'm not saying that Golden State's going to go to the finals. I'm saying that James Harden and company are going to beat Golden State. If Golden State goes to the final, I'm not going to say that Cleveland's going to win. And that would just be foolishness. I'm just not going to say it. If they win, I'll be surprised. But I'm not going to say it. And if I just can't in my right mind, as somebody who throws out predictions, say that, oh yeah, I believe this is going to happen when I just truly don't anymore. I would be like, okay, let's just wait and see. And if it happens, I'll be like, okay. And if it doesn't, I'll be like, okay. But I think that an injury is about to happen. And I think it's going to be right after they sweep Davis and them, right after they get rid of them. I think that Houston's going to win, even though there's some doubts out there right now. I think Houston's still going to win, and I think that Houston's going to take out Golden State. But Golden State is going to take themselves out of it. It's not like Houston's a better team. It's just not even true. They, what I'm saying? They were going to struggle without Curry, but now that he's back. And when you look at the injury that Curry had, you could see clearly that Curry's the one who hurt himself. Well, his teammates hurt him. It's like, who saw that coming? Your teammate hurts you and then lays down on the floor, watches you limp around, and is laying there with his hands behind his back, behind his head like this, like, oh, I'm just chilling. I was like, what kind of buffoonery is this? Nah, yeah, that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see. I don't follow or understand gambling, but know very many people that do. Well, the thing about it is I have had some people, talk to me about what if. And I'm pretty sure there were some gamblers. There are some people who, my channel's growing, and I'm pretty sure there's some people who look at my channel and go, this guy could be right. Look at what I said last year and then what I said the year before that. And they're going, he's on to something. And then when I start talking about the pattern, people, I think the majority, you come here not to actually see if I'm right, but to see how I'm right. And when you got people who are interested in the how instead of just seeing the end results, to me, they have some type of agenda. You know what I'm saying? There's something else that they might be into. And this is why I always put up a disclaimer like, that's on you. If that's what you want to do, I don't have nothing to do with that. That's completely on you. But my whole agenda is just telling people to relax on these games, telling them that God loves them more than these players ever will, and don't be so focused on these games. Focus on what's going on in the world and your current surroundings, because it's a lot of time you take up getting into these games, spending all this money, going and seeing these players, and that's your life. If you got the disposable income to do that, that's your life. But don't make the NBA your life. And there's one guy who comes on there, his title is the NBA is life. I'm just like, I would not do that. You don't need to spend all your time doing that. Is Boston a factor? No, Boston right now is like the freaking bishop. The bishop with all the moves. The bishop comes in and starts, stalemating people just because the king and queen is in a certain position. That's the way I look at Boston. They use Boston to manipulate who they want the finals, who they want to see in the finals, not so much the division finals. Because the way I look at it, Boston and Cleveland could always be in the division finals. We could always see that. And when you do see that, what do you see? Cleveland winning the division finals. That's what's going to happen this year. Now, somebody told me, Tony, tell it like it is, says that Boston's going to win the division finals. And Cleveland's going to lose up against the Raptors. I had to like, wait, what? Like, wait, how? How's that going to happen? Now, the only way I could think that he was, thinking this, and he's saying Golden State is going to win again. And I'm just like, I can see Golden State taking it all again. I don't have a problem with that. But Cleveland losing up against the Raptors, do you know what happened to the ratings if Cleveland has lost against the Raptors? It would be all bad for the ratings if that happened. I'm just saying. And this also tells me that Tony, tell it like it is, his methods are not my methods. When I'm looking at the ad revenues and looking at commercials, because that's the background I came from, I just can't see the Celtics going to the division finals and winning. And I can't see Cleveland being knocked out in the second round. I just can't see that. That makes absolutely no sense to me. None. Not a weakened Celtics going to play against the juggernaut Golden State. Who is interested in seeing that? You want to talk about a ratings drop that will be worse than the NFL last year collectively? That's what you're going to see. There's no Kyrie Irving. Who are you going to see? Gordon? Who are you going to see on the Celtics? Let me put it to you like this. What person on the Celtics has commercials on TV that's playing? That's playing. Because Kyrie Irving's got that Uncle Drew type of thing. No, nobody does. Nobody does. But what person? Exactly none. There is not one player. Listen, Gordon Hayward is the next famous person on that team. There's not one player who has a commercial out there that I know about or that you guys know about. Other than the Uncle Drew that Kyrie Irving has. There's not one other player. That matters. Just like, SAS says. Stephen A. Smith. That matters. Yes, exactly. I don't know how to say, Malcolm, what up? That makes a huge difference that there's nobody else who are going to bring the ratings up when Kyrie Irving is not playing. That makes a huge, huge, huge difference because you got to understand this is just not shown in America. It's shown all over the world. People are watching the NBA Finals. All right, this is how they orchestrated this. So I can't see what Tony Tell It Like It is talking about. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Nobody wants to see the Celtics play Golden State. No, nobody is interested in that battle. There's no David and Goliath story there. The only narrative that the Celtics has that's worth watching is the Celtics versus Cleveland. That's it. And all the buzz has been taken out of that because Kyrie Irving isn't playing. But still, it's a little buzz. It's about that much. All right. Chris Paul and James Harden with the State Farm commercials. LeBron James with the Sprite commercials. Yeah. Okay, so now you're talking. Listen, I went to get some gas, and walked in and was looking at some, chips, was looking at some chips, and right next to it was some candy, and guess whose face was on the candy? James freaking Harden. All right. Okay. You think those people invested in James Harden and just going to no, that man is going to the finals, if you ask me. That dude is everywhere. And you see how James Harden handles himself? Look at him on the court when something happens. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do a lot of too much. He does his little eat thing or his little whatever it is, or throws up the little, that old corny mess. He does that, but you don't see, this means something too, but you don't see a lot of, you don't hear a lot of crazy stuff coming out of his mouth. He's got another commercial with the headphones. He got when people are talking about him. You don't see nothing crazy coming out of his mouth. You don't see him acting too crazily flamboyant. They show his cars and his house, and this man he's almost as straight-laced as you can get. That's because of the ads. The more straight-laced you act, the more or less Charles Barkley you act, the more or less Metta World Peace or Spreewell that you act, the more money you get in your pocket on a yearly basis. Everybody wants to get next to you because it's just like Instagram. If all of you have an Instagram account, which most of us do, we want people to look at our pictures. The more people that look at our pictures, it's just like, okay. But guess what? When you get up to a certain amount of people, guess who comes to see you? The ad people. They're like, hey, we want you to wear our socks. And we'll pay you so much to wear our socks. Okay? That's exactly what happens on Instagram. That's why they have Instagram models. Speaking of commercials, I remember when Blake Griffin was on a commercial all the time. Got annoying. Yep. Blake Griffin is another person who, when he played with the Bulls, when Blake played with the Bulls, Blake was Blake. He's a big, strong dude, and he played aggressively. He's the one aggressive player that, even though he was aggressive, he was still fun to watch. And you've seen him on a lot of other stuff, too, because of the way he handled himself. Oh, Clippers, I'm sorry. I thought Blake, he played with the Bulls. Or when he played with the Clippers, I'm sorry. But you see the way he handled himself. He wasn't in a lot of fights, but he was in people's face. But that's because of his playing style. He was exciting. He had a lot of flair to him. But when it came to interviewing him, you didn't hear him cursing. You didn't hear him talking about the refs. You didn't hear him talking about the coaches. You don't see Blake on the sideline doing a whole bunch of surly stuff. You just don't see that. But when he came in the game, he was just like, boosh. And everybody wants to see that. It's only 2 points, but it's an exciting 2 points. So yeah, Blake is one of those players. I like to watch Blake because I really like to see him just go in on somebody like, wow, just nothing but pure strength and athleticism. That's what you got out of him. He even did a segment with Carmelita Jeter. If you don't know who she is, she's the fastest living woman in the world. She ran a 10.64 is her fastest time. The only person that's ever run faster than that is Floyd Griffin Joyner, who ran a 10.4. I think she ran like a 10.49 is her fastest time in the 100. So They did a whole segment together, because he was working on his sprinting speed and things along that line. You don't get to talk to those people who represent the USA and do segments with them if you're, if your ad revenue ain't right. Nike is not going to invite you out to the track when you ain't right. It's just not going to happen. How many commercials have you seen Carmelo Anthony in after he got divorced? After he got caught for cheating? Don't worry, I'll wait. Answer, goose egg. Before that, he was in all kind of commercials. Because he was, I didn't see any before he cheated. No, I did. I did, because they did a commercial on how quick his first step is. Yeah, I did. But you got to understand what he was. He was the leader of a team. He was married to another star, and he had a child. All three of those things is just ad revenue gold. That is the apex of ad revenue right there. You're married, you have children, and you have a wife who's a star. See, most people don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Most people, they try to get their wives to be a star. This is where you got, Steph Curry and his wife. Steph Curry's wife is a star because of Steph Curry. She's not a star because of something she did. She's not a standalone complex. You got some people whose wife, Tom Brady's wife, is a star without Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Lala had a name before she married Carmelo Anthony. They didn't want to pay Iverson because they said his shoe deal, he had to stay married to his wife. Boom. There you go. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. See, the wife image, the family, listen, I don't care what these feminists are out here doing. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care what these feminists are out here doing, trying to break up the families. I don't care what this homosexual movement is and all that other stuff. The majority of people, husband, wife, kids. It is what it is, America. It is what it is. And when you have that nuclear family, when you have that family, that staple family, husband, wife, kids, the wife is going to lead the household. She's going to do most of the shopping. If James Harden's face is on candy, that kid is most likely going to want that candy. Listen, it is what it is, people. So when you got Allen Iverson, who's like, you need to stay married to get this contract money, he says no. Well, guess what? You don't want our money. And that's it, and that's all. I'm going to tell you who else messed up. Lonzo Ball. Not him, but his father. Messed up big time. Why you say it's accurate? What you saying is accurate. They try and destroy the woman, but yet idolize them. Yeah. They're trying to destroy the family image. They want the family image to change. And I'm not going to get heavy into this. I'm going to stick with basketball. But they want the family image to change. When you have gay sex marriage, the family changes. And you can adopt as many children as you want to. When you have mom and mom, it's not the same as mom and dad. It's not the same dynamic. It just isn't. When you have dad and dad, it's just not the same dynamic as mom and dad. You don't shop the same. Dad and dad doesn't shop the same as mom and dad. Mom and mom don't shop the same as, you just don't. Listen, I don't care how many women want to be men. You don't do the same thing as men do. You just don't. You usually don't even work in the same places that they do. And regardless of how they want the men to be totally X'd out of a lot of these things, the man is necessary. There's just some things men do that women just don't do. And if they try to, it just doesn't go too well for them, like the chick who tried to be the kicker in the NFL combine. That kind of hurt women's chances of being in the NFL. It really hurt their chances. It really showed exactly the difference between the men and women when it comes to football. Okay, this is why you have women's football. But when you try to come into the NFL as a kicker and you barely get the ball off the ground, that's just not a good look for the women who are trying to, that glass ceiling, they trying to break that. It's just not happening. Nobody talks about the Ball family anymore. Thank God. Yeah, thank God too. But I'm saying, so as far as the gay sex marriage, it's just not the same dynamic. And nobody talks about the Ball family, and that's where it's going to hurt them, because they were making money off of Instagram. They were making money off of interviews. LeVar Ball was making money off of all of these interviews. Well, guess what? That's gone. But if you would have had the Armor All contract, if you would have had, and I understand LeVar Ball, you didn't want those contracts because you wanted your own thing with your own shoe. You could have done that too. You know what I'm saying? There would have been a competing clause, but if you were smart, you would have been able to do that. Because instead of having an Armor All shoe and having an ugly shoe like Steph Curry does, you would say, okay, Armor All, I'm not going, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to make shirts. But you got your whole Ball family shirt or BBB. How well is that selling? How'd you do on that? Is that doing real good? Because I highly doubt it. If you were going to have your shoe come out and do its thing for $500 freaking dollars, you should have just kept it at, I'm just going to do shoe only, $500 freaking dollars, but everything else, I'm going to go with Armor All, I'm going to go with Adidas, besides what Kanye West just did, or I'm going to go with Nike. That's what you should have did, or Spalding, or something like that. But now you're going to be hurting your own pockets, and you live in a huge mansion. Well, guess who's going to be paying for that? Your son. Your son is barely even playing because he's hurt. Man, I'm done with LeVar. I knew it was a bad move from the beginning. I'm like, you just not thinking in the long term. Lakers praying Lonzo turns into Steph Curry. That's not going to happen. Lonzo has the ugliest shot in the world. Steph Curry has the best shot in the world. Steph Curry is the best shooter in the game, hands down. And the second best shooter in the game is either LeBron or Steph Curry's label mate partner. Here's what it is. Those three are the top. They're holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Their percentages says so. And LeBron's getting better the older he gets. You're just like, wait, what? How's that going? 37%? And rising? What? In the playoffs? I don't know. Oh, no, Alonzo. No. And so what are you now, Alonzo? The new Jason Kidd? Because you fell up under freaking Magic Johnson? You're the new Magic? No, you're not. You came in with that weird shot, and now you need to be developed. And they spent what? And just think, okay, let's look at it like this. Lonzo Ball's contract was $5 million. Why? Because it's a rookie contract. He gets hurt and has one of the worst years in all rookies' infamy. What do you think his contract is going to be? Now that all his buzz is dying down. What do you think it's going to be? You think his contract is going to be 15, 20 million? You think he's going to be the face of the franchise? How much time do you think that they're going to spend trying to develop Lonzo Ball's shot? This is the NBA. You're good today, you're gone today. Look at what LeBron James did. Crowder was talking about winning a ring with the Cavaliers. 3 weeks later, he was on another team. I'm just saying, how much time do you think that they're going to spend on Lonzo Ball developing this kid's shot? And he had a terrible rookie season, and he's hurt. That's 2 strikes against you. There's no way I'm going to give you a $20 million contract. Just ain't going to happen. You know? They're wishing they had that kid out of Syracuse. Did you see those fadeaway shots LeBron hit against Toronto last night? It was crazy. No, but I heard about it. I think LeBron from the lab. I think LeBron from the I don't know what that means. Yeah, so it's just interesting. It's just interesting what they're going to do with Lonzo Ball because, truthfully, I have no faith in him. I have no faith in Lonzo Ball at all. Not to mention, I have no faith in his laboratory. Yeah, all day. My bad. Yeah, my bad. I have no faith in Lonzo Ball His father helped wreck him. I mean, I think he's just going to go down and burn in flames. I just do. Now that his fame is dwindling, also his shot, his I just can't see it. Truthfully, I think he's going to be off of the Lakers. I don't know what his contract is, but I give him 2 years. He'll be gone. If that, he'll be gone, especially if he has a lingering injury. They said at the start of the season that Lonzo is the reason LeBron's going to LA. Okay, let's try to drink that in. I'm gonna get to that question. Let's try to drink in the Lonzo Ball question. Let's just suck that in, because you're talking about LeBron James now. All right, LeBron James is pretty even keeled. He's a businessman. That's it. He's 100% business. It isn't about the love for him. It's about the business for him. And he does the same thing every time when it comes to business. When it comes to other players playing around him, he has the same modus operandi. When I look at Lonzo Ball doesn't fit in LeBron's in his sanctum of success. Did I just make that up? I just made that. I coined that, and I'm gonna go ahead and copyright that. And if anybody tries to take it, oops, upside your head. All right, because when I look at Lonzo Ball, you're hurt right now. That was one of Isaiah Thomas's big faux pas. You're hurt right now. Your shot is messed up, so you need development. Not very, very good. Your father talked about my children. Your father openly talked about my kids. Now, what his father said wasn't the worst thing, but he used the wrong person. He should have said stars and should have just left it arbitrary anyone. But you used my name and talked about my kids. And I had to go on social media and said, keep my kid's name out of your mouth. And then you came back with a non-apology and said, well, said something to what I said was true. And, if he's got a problem with it, if we're talking about getting physical, ain't nobody worried about that because I lift weights. Listen, all of that compounded to me means LeBron ain't going nowhere near LA as long as Lonzo is there. Now, I could be wrong. But there's no way that I'm going anywhere if I have the choice. I'm the star of the NBA. I'm not some weakling who's coming in and begging for a contract. I'm looking to make like 40, 50 million in 1 year and mess around with wherever I go to. And I'm going to come to your squad and listen to your father who talked about my kids and then wants to go straight up with me and beef with me like we can't get it in. Go and talk about he lift weights. Listen, when you tell one man to another man that I lift weights, that means one thing to us. That is a challenge. All right? That's just like whipping it out and let's see who got let's go. That's you listen. Let's take it to the hood. That's what that is to me. And that's what that is to LeBron. Let's go. Let's see who's the bigger man. Let's go. But this isn't going to happen, but that's what it is. When you got that kind of friction, I'm sorry, it just ain't going to happen. I can't see LeBron playing with Lonzo Ball, but what I can see, if he does go to the Lakers, that Lonzo Ball would not be there very long. That's what I can see. Straight up. All right, to your question. So how you feel about the Rockets losing home court? It doesn't matter. Oh, now you're stretching it. No. LeBron ain't going to the Rockets. LeBron's going to stay in the East. I don't think they'll let LeBron go to the West. I said this before because of the balance. It's imbalanced if LeBron goes to the West. Come on. You guys, work with me here. Work with me. I mean, all the videos I've been making when I go and talk about the scores and who's won more games during the season, during the regular season. Did you guys not see those videos? Okay, the difference between the Raptors, who was number one in the East, and the Houston, who's number one in the West, and the game difference that they won. Okay, we're not talking about all the other. It was so lopsided. It's just like, come on, guys. If LeBron James went to the West, Kawhi Leonard going to the East is not going to balance that out. It can't work like that. You can't have 3 MVP players, who dominate the game all on the West. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm sorry, Miss Desiree, did I answer your question? How do I feel about Rockets losing home court? I'm sorry, Miss Desiree. The Rockets losing the home court doesn't make a whole hill of beans. I don't care. And I'm saying this to say that if you look at the long run, that's what you got to look at, Miss Desiree, if she's still here. You have to look at the long run because there's some people who left. If you look at the long run, you go, that don't matter. Them losing home court, Braun and them lost home court. It don't matter. It's how they lost that matters. It's what happened. Was James Harden shooting air balls? Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Time out. James Harden shooting air balls. Let's drink that in. You know what I'm saying? Let's just, come on, Desiree. You with me? Are you still here? You with me, Miss Desiree? Let's do like this. Let's do like this. Do like this with Miss Desiree. Go like this. Let's put on our thinking cap and going, James Harden shot air balls and lost at home court. And then let's think about, are you doing this? Because you're probably not. Okay, I'm going to do it for you. And then let's go. Who is the high? Then let's go. Who's the high scorer on that team? And who has the best highlight reel on that team? And what was his highlight reel consistent of? You got to do like this to think of it all. What was his highlight reel? What did he do to that player in the highlight reel? What is his signature move? Wait a minute. Let's drink it in. Let's go. Oh, I know what it was. It was a step back shot. I think it was a 3-point step back shot. And the player fell down on the floor and he looked at him and then shot the ball and it went in. Like a 17-foot shot in his highlight reel forever. And now he's throwing up air balls home court. That's what I call a narrative. That's what I call scripted. I think that they're going to wipe those guys out. That just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because when you look at what James Harden can do and has been doing, and the reason why he's a possible MVP, and then you look at what happened in one game, you're going, eh. That's what it is. I'm like Huey. Eh. Those of you who don't know who Huey is, look him up. When Huey went, eh. And people made a big deal out of it. I'm going to just see where y'all at. Who knows what I'm talking about? When Huey went, and people made a big deal out of it. Let me see who knows who I'm talking about. I ain't going to tell you where that's from. I ain't going to say where that's from. See if you guys is on things. You saw it? What's it from? What show is that from? When Huey went, and everybody made a big deal out of it. Bleach Report. President Obama, the Boondocks. You're right. President Obama, he was like, eh. And everybody made a big deal out of it. That's what it is. It's eh. So what? He shot an air ball and then lost at home. Let's see what the end result is. Ray Skater, he shoots, he's on fire. Nobody wants Utah versus the Warriors. Yep, the Boondocks. Good show. Nobody wants Utah versus the Warriors. The Rockets are definitely beating Utah. Thank you very much. See, right here. Too much power in the West that would barely make. Yeah, they would barely make it out. Look, there's no way LeBron is going there and everything is just going to be balanced. It's just like, no. Bleacher Report came out with an article saying that there may not be much of a role for LeBron in Houston. There's no role. Look at you with the Bleacher Report. Thank you. There's no role for LeBron in Houston. The only role that LeBron has with Houston is beating them. That's it. That's it. The NBA needs LeBron in the East. That's right. KD, Steph, Harden in the West. It would it would just be terrible. The Eastern Conference will become a Westerland all day. It'll be terrible. Spurs, Warriors, Rockets, 4-3 times. I think LeBron will say no. Yeah. There's no way he's going to go to the West and the NBA still be worth watching. Look, they're already in trouble now. You know what I'm saying? Because let's think about it like this. You know what I'm going to say? Let's drink this in. Let's drink this in. This that government cheese right now. This the government cheese of it all. If LeBron James goes to the West, what will happen to the ratings in the East? Will the people who are in the East, in the eastern cities, will they say, our team has a chance to go to the NBA Finals? What team in the East will say this? And I know a lot of you are going to say one team is going to say this. What team is going to open up their mouth and say, we can beat those guys? There's only one team out there that will say it, and it's definitely not true. Maybe. With Kyrie Irving, maybe. With Kyrie, maybe. And maybe the Sixers. Maybe. But the Sixers know better. Not right now. In a few years, maybe the Sixers. But the Celtics, the only team. I had the Sixers, but the Celtics, this is true. But that's a healthy. See, I was thinking now. Because the Celtics don't stand a chance when they're not healthy. But the Celtics healthy, yes. I'm saying, and that's not even, it's just not doing. I can't see Adam Silver saying, yeah, go ahead and do this. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I can't see Kawhi Leonard. I can't see Kawhi Leonard coming to the East. Oh, well, let me change that. I can't see Kawhi Leonard coming to the East because the East needs some help. So I can see Kawhi coming to the East. I can see that. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. If Kevin Durant stays and re-ups his contract, if he stays and re-ups his contract, that's going to be bad for the NBA. That's a bad deal if Kevin stays where he's at. People's like, why doesn't he just go to Washington where he's from? I don't know. But he's not going back to Oklahoma, and he's not going to come over to the East. If he stays where he's at, if they win another ring, because right now they're the reigning dynasty. If they win another ring and he stays where he's at, that's bad for the NBA. No. People are going to lose money. There's going to be a lot of money lost. Not going to happen. Can I beatbox? I don't know. Was that good enough? I don't know. Was that... Why do I need to know how to beatbox? I don't know. I beatbox all day, man, because I love music. I actually make music. You know, I'll play some if you guys wanted to hear some of my music. Biggest rating drop probably. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Unless he go to the West, he can beat everyone. Then they break conference up to make a little more sense. It's not going to the West. SAS says Boston has a chance against the Cavs. I'm a beatbox while I think about that. No, they don't. No, they don't. Stephen A. Smith is Stephen A. Smith is a puppet. He's a puppet. He's going to say whatever it takes to get those ratings up. He even talked about the ratings. So, no, he's not, but that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, well, Des, can I call you Des? Des, do you listen to SAS a lot? This is going to tell me what kind of fan you are. Who do you listen more to? Who's your favorite analyst? I'm looking at you commenting down here. Let me see what you're going to say. First Take, and that's exactly who they are. They're TMZ. Oh, okay. Okay. See, we cool now. You right here. Because SAS is full of it. If you was right here, I'd just give you a big old hug. Because Shannon Sharp, my boy, we're not there, Shannon Sharp. Can't understand some of what he's saying, but nonetheless, that's my dude, man. Shannon Sharp, give it to you. Now, come on, kid. Come on, kid. How you just going to say DeRozan ain't no good after they done been number one in the league in the postseason, Skip? How you just going to talk about DeRozan like that, Skip? Come on now. I understand they ain't going to beat LeBron, Skip, but DeRozan, he's still good. Come on, Skip. How you going to say Ginobili is good when he only played 20 minutes for like the last 3 games? How you going to say that he's so great? Ginobili, 40 years old, kid. Come on now. Be kid. But that's my dude. Shannon, what up with you? Good. What up with you? Good comment. What's happening? Same here. SAS has become a joke. SAS is a joke, man. And you have to know, Kanye West, even though I'm like, I can kind of agree with what you're saying, but SAS, you've been a puppet. You've been a puppet ever since you went after JRE for having a hood on, and then you go and compare that to that kid that died by freaking Zimmerman's hand. How is that even comparable? How? Because he had a hood on? Oh, sweet Christmas. Oh, it just hurt to hear that. Like, wait, Trayvon Martin is compared to J.R. Smith sitting on a bitch with a hood on. How do you draw a comparison? And then say the white people are thinking about, right, J.R. Smith told not J.R. Reed. I didn't say J.R. Reed, didn't know. I said J.R. Smith. I'm sorry. Even if I did, y'all know who I'm talking about. But I'm saying, how you gonna make that comparison? So now everybody wearing a hood is compared to Trayvon Martin. Not only that, Trayvon Martin didn't do anything wrong. So wait a minute, oh, sweet God. Wait a minute. You colored Trayvon Martin a thug? You're saying wearing a hood is a bad thing? So Trayvon Martin, this 17-year-old kid who was coming from the store getting Skittles, was a bad guy? Is that what happened, Stephen A? Because I'm confused on what happened. I thought he went to the store to get some Skittles, and he was followed by a guy who illegally followed him, got out his car, picked a fight with him, and then shot him one time in the chest. I thought that's what happened. I didn't think that Trayvon Martin was breaking into homes. He wasn't robbing anybody. He walked away from Zimmerman. He was walking away from the fight. He wasn't out rebel rousing. He wasn't stealing a car. He was unarmed, and he got into a physical fight with a grown man who was losing the fight, which is what happens when you start a fight. Sometimes you lose, and the grown man shot him and killed him and got away with it. But Zimmerman's the bad guy, and because I have a hood on, now I'm a thug. Oh, Stephen A. Smith, you lost every bit of credibility with me you ever had. You are a sucker-ass sucker, if you ask me. That's it. That's it. You are an Uncle Tom stupid-ass sucker. Just to even make that reference and then talk about how the white people see him. That was just a slap to anybody who even, to any black person for one, and then the black person minding his own business, going to a store wearing a hood is automatically deemed a bad guy. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Nope. You a sucker ass. That little boy was not the enemy. You know what I'm saying? He fought a grown ass man and he beat that man up, is what he was supposed to do. He was taught to defend himself, and that's exactly what he did. And he died for it. Nah, I'm not having that. If that was my little boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to teach him how to throw down. And I don't care who run up on him. You throw them hands on him. And he was trying to get away, and he threw them hands on Zimmerman, and Zimmerman's punk ass killed him. Oh, nah, you a sucker to me, Steven. That's it. That's it. Some crazy stuff, but I don't listen to SAS. You know, I might hear something he says once or twice, but okay. Recently, I listened to him just because he was talking about the ratings of somebody else. Somebody sent me the link, so I heard it. Other than that, I can't listen. But I like Max Hellerman. I like Max Hellerman, though. Too bad what happened to his brother, but I like Max. I do like Max a lot. So there's that. Now I'm going to bring up the score of the game before I go ahead and get out of here. If you guys have any questions about that. So let me just do that in round two, because I got papers to do, guys. Round two. Hold on a second, guys. I can't read your comments just yet. Also, guys, if you want to support the channel, I usually don't do this, but the reason why I'm talking about it now is because somebody was bringing this up to me. For one, I don't make any money when I go live. I usually don't make any. All my money is made on the ads when I'm not live. However, I do have competitions that I have, the competitions are like dollars. I'm going to try to up that to 50, and it's not going to get no higher than 100. So if you guys are interested in getting into those competitions, the one for the finals, you can't get in that. That's already on lockdown. Interested in that, you can support the channel, and then it goes up from there. So it'll only go up to $100, but nonetheless, I can start doing more predictions on more things, which means I can start giving away more money. So if you guys are interested in that, you know, I have, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and leave a link to it. Let me get a link to it. But that's completely up to you guys. I have a Patreon. I have a couple things out there. But, yeah, I don't make any money doing my live stuff. Yeah. Tone in the house. Trying to get this link. I'm sorry. It's Also have music and stuff out there, so if you guys are interested in that. I actually wrote a book too, so nobody's read my book, but that doesn't mean I didn't write it. I write poetry and all that other stuff too, so I used to go out and do poetry shows. That was cool. I used to get paid to do that. That was pretty dope. Okay, yeah. There's my Patreon. So there's that. And okay, so let's do the schedule thing. All right, so Golden State Pelicans game 3 is today at 8 o'clock. Listen, I'm telling you, if the Warriors win, it's going to be over. If the Warriors win, it's just going to be freaking disgusting. Like, it's just going to be over. They're just going to sweep those guys. All right, Rockets Jazz. I'm going to take Rockets. That is today at 10:30. Desiree, you need to tell me what you think of this next game with the Rockets and Jazz, because I sense you got some mixed signals going on here. What's going on with the Rockets? And I just want to get to a clear lane of thought right there. You got a little. I'm gonna have to work with you. I'm gonna have to work on you a little bit to get you clear. All right, Celtics, Sixers. I'll take the Celtics. Raptors, Cavaliers. I'm gonna take Cavaliers. I say Cavaliers are gonna go up. And this is tomorrow. Celtics and Raptors. Stick through. I say tomorrow the Raptors. I say tomorrow Cleveland's gonna win, but that's not a prediction. It's just like it doesn't matter because the end game is what really matters. But I say they win. That's what I say happens. So the two games that's going on today is Rockets, Jazz, and Warriors, Pelicans. And they're pretty predictable to me, except for the Rockets, Jazz. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one right there. And bada bing, bada boom. I am going to go back and look at game 2. Let's see who's still here because I can't see comments. All right. Rockets winning all. There's Cavs. All right. Alvarez. Okay, Alvarez, I know you're new around here, but we have a young lady on board, so we kind of watching what we say. So I appreciate you, good sir. Thanks a lot. Rockets got to win this. What your mate's his Roy claim, but I don't see the Rockets falling short. I don't see him either. We shall see, shall we? Okay. We shall see. And 3. All right, I see you, Desiree. You try to take me there. All right. And when they win, what happens? You baking cookies? Well, we got cookie bed on it. You got some cookies. You got some oatmeal raisin on it. All right. Talking about some we shall see. Cookies up in this month. All right, then. Shoot. How you up in that kitchen? You better watch your tone. All right, we don't know a person who tried to make a bet like that and they lost. All right, they ain't here no more. They got upset. Bet them a pizza. They ain't here no more. They ain't want to pay up. All right, gonna have you in that kitchen, girl. You better not playing with me, dude. I don't play around. All right, let's look at this here. Let's get some stats from game 2. Because, yeah. You in that kitchen, that's right. You better tell your boyfriend you cooking for me tonight. Wait, we don't want to do Shannon Sharp. You gonna be cooking for me and Shannon Sharp. That's right, you gonna be cooking for me and Shannon Sharp. You better watch yourself. Oh, my goodness. All right, Cav to Raptors, Zilch. I just want to run down some facts for you guys. Let's just see what LeBron did. LeBron James, 41 minutes. Okay, rebounds 8, assists 14, points 43. He balled out of control. J.R. Smith had a big game last game. And let's see, 35 minutes, 1 rebound. How do you have 1 rebound? Aren't you the center? How do you have 1 rebound, 1 assist, 15? Okay, J.R. Smith, because you had 19 the last game. I see you, J.R. Kevin Love, 35 minutes, 11 rebounds. All right. 2 assists, 31 points. Now, I want to talk about that because somebody was like, Kevin Love is trash. Kevin Love is trash. And I said, Kevin Love is about to score 30 points, and that's exactly what he did. That's what I'm talking about. And that goes to you too, Desiree. Watch what your boy Harden does. Watch him come alive and just eat up the. No, man, don't come on, man. He on my channel. George Hill with 35. George Hill, 35 minutes. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 13 points. Okay, George Hill. It's Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver with 28 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 points. We'll take those 5 points. Kyle, you know what I'm saying? Jeff Green with 20 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 14 points. Jeff Green out of nowhere. Listen, if we do a comparison to this game and the last game they played, it's going to be huge, especially when it was losing against Oladipo and those guys. And you guys were talking about what happened to Kevin Love and why does he only score 7 points in yickety yak? He's trash. The man ain't trash. He's on standby. He's just chilling. Okay? Tristan Thompson. It's Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson with 15 minutes, 2 rebounds, 0 assists, 2 points. Now that's a huge difference because he had 16 last game. Jordan Clarkson, 14 minutes, 1 rebound, 0 assists, and 5 points. We'll take him. Rodney Hood. Now this is the big disappointment. Rodney Hood, 12 minutes, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 0 points. Jerry Nance Jr., 3 minutes, 1 rebound, 0. He's going to be gone soon. And Oldsmith, 3 minutes, 0, and 0. All right, so there's just a huge difference. I will send it via email to you. Damn right, I'm trying to tell you that your dude going to be disappointed. Who you making them cookies for? Oh, them smell good. Yo, I can't have none of them cookies. Who you making it for? Tone 202 and Shannon Sharp. We gonna be eating good. Stepped out to go to the gym. Hood isn't playing well at all. No, he isn't. I'm about to end this because I have something to do before 5 o'clock. But yeah, Hood isn't playing well at all. And I wanted to run down that score just to prove a point to some of you guys, put it on record. Stop saying that Kevin Love is trash when he scored 31 points against the Raptors. He didn't do it against the Pacers. He did it against the Raptors. He did it against the number 1 seed in the freaking East. Okay, so cut out all that Kevin Love is trash because it's just not true. Yeah, Jay. What you doing, bench pressing? You was bench pressing, wasn't you? I was thinking about going to the gym today. I got these papers to do. Anyways, I'm out of here, good people. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with your boy. I love chatting it up with you guys, and I'll probably go live again tomorrow. I'll probably be live every day. If I'm not, you bench press, I'm at one. What? You must be small, Edwards. You must be a small person. You must be like maybe 150 pounds, 160, like 5, 6 or 7. You must be a small person. Either that or you're really young and you haven't, been in sports very long. That must be what's going on with you. But you got to understand, I am 6'2". I'm 265 pounds. And I've been in sports all my life. And so, me throwing up 315 is not a big deal. There are Yeah, I thought so. I knew you were a small person. But there are guys my size who are throwing up 315 like it ain't nothing. Yeah, I knew you were small. I was like, that's a small person's weight. But in comparison, if you were my size, you'd probably doing close to 300. So, but there are guys 170 they can put up some weight. I seen an old guy. He's not even big as you. He's probably my age, and this guy was benching 205 like 5 times. He was in there cranking it. He was just this guy like 52. Huh. Oh yeah, you just well, that's not bad for just starting. But I'm gonna tell you how to psych yourself up. Take that 125. Take that one. For one, do dumbbells. 2, do a lot of push-ups. 3, do some, dips. You can do some dips somewhere. And 4, stop messing around with 125. Just stop messing around with it. Put 135 on there. Have somebody help you out, get with you, and just look at the 135 as your goal. So when you start looking at that, when you start looking at that 135, it's all uphill from there. When you get that big plate on there, it does something to your thinking. That 125 is like, it's going to keep you small. You don't want to think small. You want to think big because your size is actually, I'm going to tell you something. You're the same size as Dorian Yates, except he's 305 in the offseason. Just think about that. He's huge. All right? And he's strong. So you're thinking small. I can tell if I was in the gym with you, I'd be like, you think you're small, so you're thinking small. And that's, you're where you're at because that's where you want to be. You think small. 125, you think it's small. And you 170? You think it's small, bro. You should be cranking, at least 135. Like, you should be doing 135 like at least close to 10 times. Yeah. In a suicide grip with your feet on the bench. In a warm-up. That's where you should be at. 135 shouldn't even be bothering. You should be doing 135 like this. Fully extended. And never lock your elbows. Boom, racket. Boom, boom, boom. That should be your warm-up. I'm just saying. You're thinking small. If you think small, you're going to stay small. You know what I'm saying? You think big, you're going to get big. You know what I'm saying? You got to do stuff to get your pectoralis majors and minors into the game, but you got to get your triceps into the game. And then when you get your deltoids heavy into the game, you start doing dumbbell military press. You getting heavy into the game now. You know what I'm saying? That weight it'll just accelerate because a lot of it is coming from your front deltoid, your major minors, and then of course you're supporting your latissimus dorsis and all that to help you push the weight, and then your core. So if you're knocking out push-ups on a regular, you know what I'm saying? If you're knocking out I shouldn't be able to do more push-ups than you, even though I'm stronger than you when it comes to weight. You're a lightweight. You should be knocking out, your triceps should be sticking out of your arm. You are lightweight. You know what I'm saying? You do 100 push-ups a day. Yeah, but you cheat. You're not doing 100 real push-ups. You're not coming up, boom. You doing them like this. You're doing the cheating push-ups. You're not doing the regular push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Isometric, straight leg, butt not all up in the air. Straight back, not with the head down, head forward. Extend, don't lock your elbows. Boom, down. 1, touch your nose. 2, no, 3, or touch a chest, full getting it all. You don't cheat your body and then try to sell. You think it's small. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna get you right. You should make some videos and I'll tell you what's wrong. I get you right, man. I get you right. Boy Tone 202, man. God loves you. So do I. I'm out.